Today, I want to share with you 5 business lessons worth over £1 million. Now, 2018 has been the year where we mark the lifetime sales of £1 million in GTeX. So, really excited about this achievement, and of course, it took a lot of hard work and sleepless night. But throughout this process, I've learned very key lessons, and in particular 5 that I would love to share with you today in this episode of Explode Your Expert Business Show. So if you're watching the replay on Facebook, thank you very much for watching. Stay until the end because you are onto something incredible that is going to transform your business if you implement what I'm going to share with you. If you are following, watching, or listening on the podcast or watching on YouTube, again, thank you very much wherever you are consuming this piece of content. So I want to get straight into the juice, straight into the meat of this process. The reason why I wanted to share with you these 5 lessons, it is because I didn't grow up having business owners in my family or studying business at all. Actually, I came from a very traditional background with 2 working class parents. There was not even much money in the house. We're not poor, we're not rich, but there was that much disposable income after one holiday in the summer, if you can understand what I mean. And so I had to figure out business literally by trial and error. And it has been a roller coaster. It has been a very intense journey. It has been a very emotional journey, but at the same time, incredibly fulfilling. And that's why I wanted to share this with you, because it allows me the opportunity to reflect on what really matters in business, because there are so many things happening at the same time that is difficult sometimes to filter for lessons. But I believe that that's why we live, that's why we experience our reality, because we are here on this planet to grow and to expand as human beings, and we go through our journey experiencing different challenges or different episodes, and they're all there to help us learn. And that's why I wanted to take the step back where I could assess what made us make 1 million in sales over the period of the GTeX has been alive, having this exponential growth that we had over the years. And then, so you can make the most of this. So let's get started straight away. The first lesson that I want to share with you is all about focus on selling and marketing. Now, when you're running a business, there are a lot of different opportunities that are coming your way, and it's very difficult to really realize where to spend your time. That's very difficult. However, when you're starting out and in any situation, in any period of your business, you need always to keep a constant focus on 2 things: sales and marketing. Now, let's expand on those. Marketing is what allows you to get known. Marketing is what allows you to become visible. Marketing is what allows you to get other people to find out about you. And while sales is the process of converting those new eyeballs that you have in your business into paying customers. Sales is what actually brings the money in the bank. Sales is the lifeblood of the business. And that's why it's crucial to focus consistently on sales and marketing. Now, a lot of people will tell you, oh, you need to focus on creating incredible content, on having a great brand, on building a team, on doing this and doing that. But first of all, you gotta get yourself out there and get clients. All the rest comes later, at any stage. In fact, even if you're running a business because you want to sell it out one day or you want to scale it, you still have to prove that your concept works, you know how to market your business, and you know how to make sales. Because no other investors is going to be willing to invest in you if you haven't figured this out. You need to make this happen. And in particular, you need to start driving consistent cash flow in your business. Now, I remember when we started GTeX, the first year we turned over, actually, I got the figures here. The first year we turned over in sales £2,400. That's in 1 year. That's crazy. The second year we went in £41,200. The third year, £103,564,000. The fourth year, £190,234,000. The fifth year, £317,883. And now to date we have 360,000 in sales. Okay, which we are in our fifth year. So it's really important to see that what we've been focusing on has been consistently growing our sales and getting in front of more people. That what allowed us to get our message out there. That's what allowed us to get in front of consistent clients. That what allowed us to make sure that our business was consistently profitable. So sales and marketing. If you're not making money, if you're not consistently getting in front of new people, your business is destined to die. And that's the sad truth. So what are you going to do about that? You're going to do something? I hope so. So that's lesson number 1. Always focus on sales and marketing. Always have sales and marketing as a priority in your business. It doesn't matter how you set your goals in your business. Everyone will set them in a different way. I use one specific way, which I'm going to share in the next few episodes. But sales and marketing is what will make you money. And without money, without clients, you don't have a business. Capish? Capish. So that's lesson number 1. Lesson number 2 is about focus. And probably I'm the worst person to talk about focus, but I want to talk about focus anyway. Now, why do I say I'm the worst person to talk about focus? Well, the reason why I'm saying this, it is because my brain is the type of very creative brain, where every day I wake up with a brilliant idea that can change the world. And one of my biggest challenges has been actually not to consistently listen to those ideas that were jumping in my brain. One of my biggest challenges being actually the ability to say no. And that has been reflected actually in our growth in our business. Because at the beginning, I would just go out and say yes to every single opportunity. And I gotta say that if you're starting out, I think it's a great thing to say yes at every single opportunity. Because you still might not know, like myself, what you're doing. And I didn't have a clue about what I was doing. So I had to experience it, and I learn from experience. That's how I learn best. I learn from experience. So I went out there and I said yes to every single opportunity. Now, that got me to have a great wealth of knowledge, connect with incredible people. But I gotta say that 80% of the projects I was getting involved in, they weren't making any money, or they weren't the right platforms for me. So I got these incredible learnings or these incredible pictures for social media, or getting this buzz about a project that actually wasn't making anything really in the back end. I wasn't helping anyone and I wasn't making any money. What's the point? So one of the things I had to learn is to say no. The dreaded word no. I think it's more difficult to say no than to receive a no. If you're someone like me that wants generally to help other people, that's why I got into business. Saying no to opportunities that can put me in front of people to help them or to grow the business is very tough. But I arrived to the point where I was burnt out because I didn't have enough time in my day to do everything I wanted to do, and in particular to do everything I committed myself to do. I said yes to everyone without really understanding how long and how much time it was going to take to fulfill my promises. And therefore I ended up doing or a poor job, or a great job but I was feeling crap about it, or I ended up actually not delivering at all on those promises. So for me, in 2018, something that I said to myself, I'm going to change this, is to say no more often. And I did. And guess what? The business kept growing. And I had more time. More time for myself, more time for the business, more time for my team, more time for my wife, more time for my holidays, more time for my basketball. I never had so much time. Why? Because I was focused on what was creating revenues. Now, in 2019, I'm going to be even more ruthless. I'm going to say no to even more opportunities. Why? Because I'm only going to focus the majority of my time on the ones that I know that are going to generate revenues. We've done enough testing. We got enough results, so we know in our business now what works and what doesn't. What brings money? What doesn't bring any money? What brings clients? What doesn't bring any clients? What got us to make an impact and change lives and change businesses, and what doesn't? So why spending time on what doesn't? Okay, it's cool at the beginning, but after a while you gotta be smart about it. That's what I say to myself. So this is why focus is the second biggest learning that I got during this period of growth this year, but also has been a result of all the other years that we've been, the past 5 years that we've been running GTeX. Now we have the third, so let's recap. The first is sales and marketing. Focus on sales and marketing. The second is learn to focus and to say no. And focus only on, once you find it, on what works. First of all, you gotta find what works, or you got hire someone that can help you out, and then focus on that 100%. And the other thing, the other biggest learning that helped us to reach this milestone of the 1 million in sales that it generated was the ability of having a great team around us and growing the team. And that was another challenge that I had to overcome. The reason why it was a challenge is because I am, how can we say, a control freak? Yes, that's the word. I'm a control freak. I love to have everything under control and to know what's happening in any part of the business. I actually feel kind of sense of missing out if I don't know what a team member is doing. And that was a huge bottleneck in GTeX, because I was committing to do everything myself, from the website to the line campaigns, to the line marketing, to the sales, to the delivery to the clients, to writing for publications and writing content and creating videos and editing videos and creating the podcast and editing the podcast. I was doing everything myself, and that was the biggest problem that I had, because I didn't have enough time. I didn't have enough time to focus on what matters. And therefore the business was stuck. And I was burned out. But the moment I embraced that actually it was better to have other people that could do things with me, then the business completely changed. Because finally, I was able to work with incredible people, and I'm a team player. That's why I play basketball. Because I'm a team player. I love playing in a high-performing, competitive team. That's where I perform best. So I wasn't, by acting solo, I wasn't even giving myself the environment in which I can perform best. But on top of that, everything was taking 10 times longer. Now we have in total almost 14 members between full-time, part-time, contractors that work in GTeX. And I couldn't do what I do right now without them. But the business wouldn't keep growing and be scalable without them as well. And this was one of the biggest things that I had to let go of on my ego, of having everything under control and having everything that it needed to be done perfect, which actually they are doing it even better than what I thought it was perfect, by the way. But it was just an illusion that I had in my mind. And the moment I let go of it and started hiring people, started growing the team, that was the moment in which things started clicking. But And again, we already proved that we had a business because we focused at the beginning on sales and marketing. We're able to generate sales and market our ideas. We knew what was a rough focus on our business, and then we narrow it down and narrow it down and narrow it down. So at this point, we could expand with the team. I think a lot of entrepreneurs, they want a team too early just because they don't want to do what's necessary for them to grow their business. It's a way to avoid what's uncomfortable. It's a way to avoid those sales conversation or putting themselves out there, which is crucial for an entrepreneur. You cannot have a business if you don't put yourself out there. You can't. Or you have a partner that does, and you have a partnership in your business. But if you don't have at least one figure in your business that it keeps getting out there and gets sales, you cannot hide hiring a team, because now what happens is that your business will only function if you have other people selling and marketing for you. So that's why the biggest learning lesson that got us over $1 million in sales was to focus on sales and marketing. Then we focus on refining, just looking on what works, and then we expanded the team so that we can instruct them only on to do the things that worked, so they didn't waste any time. I want to say a big shout out right now to Durga Mata. Thank you for joining. Hello Scott, thank you very much for joining as well. Any question that you have or any comment, feel free to comment below. And welcome to everyone else as well that is joining the live right now. So we talked about sales and marketing. We talked about getting super and ultra focused. We talked about having the right team in place. And now we are going to the fourth lesson that helped us to get over $1 million in sales over the past 5 years, which was being everywhere. Now, I got people saying to me, Simone, I open your feed, you are everywhere. You are on Facebook, you are on LinkedIn, you are on Instagram, you are on Twitter. I open the emails, I receive your emails. I open my messenger bot and you send me the chatbots. Simone, you are everywhere. GTeX is everywhere. You are speaking at 200 events a year. How do you do that? Now, this is not easy. That's probably the toughest part of the business, which is being everywhere and creating so much content that is distributed multiple times in multiple platforms. And that's more difficult at the beginning. The larger your team, the easier it becomes because they will take the pressure off you. But right now, in 2018, 2019, and now we're going to 2019, the social media feeds and Google feed and the Google pages are so saturated with content that you need to be everywhere to stand out. Because otherwise, people will not follow you, will follow someone who is everywhere. And that's the sad news. Because while before you could just be on one platform and be happy with that, now if you are not in all the different platforms that exists, people will not take you as seriously, and they will buy from the people that are on multiple platforms. Why? Because as human beings, we don't use only one platform. You might be on Facebook, you might be on LinkedIn, you might be on Twitter, you might be on Instagram, you might be on Google. And as well as human beings, we like to consume content in different ways. We like to consume marketing material in different ways. That's why it's my duty, it's my role to create all the different ways and be in all the different platforms in where you are, so then I can actually align in the way you like to buy. Some people say, well, but this is a bit too much. Look who wins. Look who wins in the game of business. The businesses that are investing the most in their brand and getting their brand everywhere, if you're just taking a step back from the expert industry, the personal development industry, just looking at business, normal businesses. The businesses that are everywhere are the businesses that make the most money. Why? Because it's advertisement. People will buy for a brand that they trust. And how do you build trust? By being in their faces every single day with the right message. Every single day, every single time, in multiple different ways, with the right message. And I know it's hard work. And I know there is a lot of content creation to put out and being a bit smart in the way you're repurposing that content. There is an episode on the podcast that I did on how you can create 13 different pieces of content doing one thing. So check it out. Don't remember the number of the episodes. I'll do it again. But there are ways in which you can create content in a smart way and repurpose it accordingly. But you need to start embracing the fact that you cannot be only on one platform, and some people don't want to be even getting out there. And then they wonder, well, why don't make any money? Why don't make any sales? Well, because people don't trust you. It's simple. If people don't trust you, they don't buy from you. And now the sales cycle is getting longer and longer and longer and longer. Why? Because there are so many people that are getting out there that make these great claims and promises that can change your life, that can change your business, that if they have the best product, that they are the best, that people don't know anymore who to trust. So who they will trust? The person who is in front of them with the right message most often. And the people that are willing to become vulnerable, to share their mistakes, to share what works and what doesn't. Not just to share, oh, look how great my life is. Actually, that smells like BS. So be willing to show your life. Be willing to show yourself. The ups and downs, the good and the bad, in a smart way. Remember, it's always marketing. But the more you will do it and in the more platform you will be, the more sales you will make. The more clients you will have, the more impact you'll make as well. So be everywhere. Be everywhere is my fourth learning. And if I don't have time, I'm not great at creating content. These are just excuses. You learn how to do it. If you want to make it in this game of business, you gotta learn how to do it, or you hire someone. Two different things. Or you hire someone or you learn yourself. I recommend to learn this skill and then having someone else to implement it, but learn it first. Because there are few skills in business that it doesn't matter what will happen to your business. You want always to be in the position to be able to generate clients and make money. As long as you're able to do these two things, doesn't matter what happened to your business, you have yourself sorted and your family sorted. A lot of entrepreneurs, they lose their family, their houses, their businesses, just because they don't have the necessary skill to keep them going where something goes wrong. Because we don't have a magic wand. We don't know what's going to happen in business. What you know is that if you know how to generate leads and convert those leads in a consistent way, you're sorted. You're fine. So we talked about, these are the fourth learning, okay? So let me recap them for them. And if you have any question, guys, let me know here. One is sales. The first one is focus on sales and marketing. Then focus on what works and learn how to say no more often. So only do what works in your business. Build your team and scale your team so you can have more time to do what you do best and outsource what you're not able to do. And build your business in a way where actually you are becoming almost redundant, where actually you don't need to be there. And also be everywhere. Be absolutely everywhere. Any social media platform you can be on a social media platform with a relevant message. If it's too much everywhere and you're completely starting out, start with 2 at least. Then you build from there. If you're a bit more advanced, you now are usually posting on 2 different platforms. Explore all the others because your clients are in all these other platforms. So you need to be where your clients are. We have one question which I'm going to answer just at the end. So I'm going to share the 5th one, and then Scott, I'm going to answer your questions, and absolutely I'm going to break down the sources of the sale. And then we have the last one, which is innovate. Innovate and productize. This is the very last one. Something that we did this year, which made a massive difference to our brand, was to keep growing, to keep launching new products, keep launching new services, keep refining the existing product and existing services, and also register our intellectual properties and trademark our intellectual properties. Now, we had many clients coming to us saying that they come back to buy from GTeX, and they always come back to us because we are constantly innovating. Every year we are becoming better. Every year we offer better resources. Every year we are growing, and we are not consistently repurposing the same old stuff. What there are companies or other experts or gurus that for the past 25 years have been saying the same bloody things. Now the word goes on. Life changes. So there are things and principles that remain the same, but there are other that are constantly evolving, consistently changing. And I want to be consistently evolving and consistently changing. And I want to be using the latest trends. I want to be ahead of everyone else. We're some of the first one to use messenger bots where they came out. It's a huge thing alongside our email strategies. We're some of the first ones using gamification sometimes in membership sites and so on. So there are a few things that we were doing and that we are doing that I look at where is the market going? What are the trends? What are the latest technologies? Where are people buying? What is the future of the industry? And I want to start early. Why? Because I want to be an early adopter to a platform, so then there is less competition than actually starting using it where everyone else is already on board. By the time they get on board, it means that I can use and master the platform 100 times better. And we have also captured the early users of the platform that are more excited and that are using it because now they are exploring it too. Waiting for all the other people to come in already with something substantial to offer. So we want to be leaders, not followers. And that's why always innovating, and is core to us. Now, the name of GTeX stands for Growing Together Exponentially. You hear me saying, together we grow exponentially all the time. Why? Because growth is core to us. It's core to me. It's core to Ben. To every other member of the team. That's why we all work together. We all believe that life, business is a constant process of growth and innovation. That's why we click so well. Now, the other thing that I mentioned is productize. Now, the message can be the same. But the way you deliver this message, it will change all the time. And this is what you want to be focused on. In what different ways can you share your message? In what different ways can you get other people to consume what you have in your brain? So, for example, we are finalizing our book, which is going to be published next year in 2019, Explode Your Expert Business. We are going to we have launched our content planner, our journal, our expert journal, which is a journal that allows you to plan your 3 months, your year 3 months at a time, and measure goals. We have created our expert business canvas, which is a canvas that gets you to have your business all in one snapshot in one place, so you can always be focused. And we have refined a lot of the content on our membership sites. We had a massive push with this podcast. We created long form posts and short form posts and articles for Entrepreneur Magazine, for Forbes, for the Huffington Post. I've been interviewed in hundreds of other different podcasts and as well done more than 200 events this year. Very aggressive. But this has been all the different ways in which I can share my message. And now my message is out there in different formats, which means that more people will have access to it, depending on their preferred way of experiencing that content. The worst thing you can do is to just deliver your message in the way that you like to receive it. Because it means that you're missing out on a large portion of the potential clients that you can have. And that's what it takes to scale and to generate the 1 million in sales. That's what the big difference is for us. It's been productize, 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 productize. And in 2019, guess what? We're going to create even more products, and it's going to be easier now that we have a bigger team. The bigger the team, the easier, the faster creating products will be. Because someone will create the content, someone will create a design, someone will create a marketing material, someone will create a marketing campaign. Boom. In a couple of weeks, a product can be created, done, and dusted, and all out. That's what, and now this is exciting for me because I can see the speed of implementation literally shooting up. It's like gonna be a rocket, and I love speed of implementation. There is something you gotta know about me, is that I don't spend much time learning. I spend more of my time doing. I learn something, I spend my time implementing it. Because when something is here, is of little use. And it doesn't matter what you learn, it will always take a learning curve to become a master at it. Or if not a master, at least to become good at it. You can get the best courses that there are in the world of public speaking, but if you don't get on stage and speak, you'll not be better. Simple as that. Alright? So these are my 5 business lessons from this year that got us to over $1 million in sales in the lifetime of GTeX. Let me repeat them, and then I'm going to answer a few questions. So first of all, the first one is sales and marketing. Second one is focus and learn how to say no. Third one is build your team and scale up so you can have more time for yourself and do what you love best, what you do best. Be everywhere, every single platform you can be there. It will make it an all difference because people will trust you, will buy more easier. And then innovate, and productize. These are the 5 business lessons that are worth over 1 million, got us over 1 million pound in sales. And if you adopt them, if you apply them, so you can see these are principles. These are timeless principles. These are not tactics. Tactics change all the time. But if you apply these timeless principles, your business will skyrocket. Now, we have a few questions in the meanwhile. So, well, make sure you join our Facebook group. And if you want to become a private client or join one of our courses next year, make sure you send me a message right now. Can have a chat and see which one of the different options is best for you depending on where you are. That's why I'm rarely selling a specific program, because we work with people and everyone has a different way of learning, everyone has a different way of experiencing their content. Some people prefer more one-to-one bespoke support, other people prefer working in groups, other people prefer both. People have different budgets. Some people cannot afford spending 20 grand up front to work with me, and they will work with my team, and other people will say, okay, here 20 grand and let's go and get started. So we have something for everyone. Make sure that you send us a message if you want to become an authority in your field, because that's what we do. We turn experts into authorities. So let me answer some questions. Scott, can you break down the sources of the sales, events versus membership site versus coaching, etc.? So I don't have the exact figures in front of me, but I can give you a rough estimate of the ones that I remember from our last meeting. So we have the majority. They are coming from one-to-one clients and events. It's almost a 50-50. They are coming from events, and one-to-one clients are the one that are making us the most money. And then we have a smaller percentage of online sale. Much smaller, because we are not focusing massively online. Where everyone is focusing online, I'm focusing mainly offline, because that's also where my skill set and my strength are. Going to wrap up the online sales this year in 2019, but what I was really good at is to speak and sell from the stage. So what I've been focusing on for the past 5 years, speak and sell from the stage. Did more than 1,000 events the past 5 years. And next year I'm going to reduce the number of events and increase the quality of the events I'm speaking at, to make sure that I'm only speaking in front of the right people, and ideally mainly in front of larger audiences. But that's what made us the most of the sales. So events, that generated sales of one-to-one clients, or buying our event packages, which is our lifetime memberships. They're almost 50-50. And then we have our online sales, much smaller percentage, probably be about a 10% of the total sales that we have on recurring revenues and recurring online programs, or even one-off sales of online programs. The other question is events and one-to-one. No, events and one-to-one, they are about 80%. Okay, let's put it this way. We have 50% of revenues between events and one-to-one, another 40% of revenues of our corporate clients, which is Ben's side of the business, and then a 10% of online sales. That's a good breakdown. Then we have the other question is what did you sell in order to make 1 million? These were the different products that we sold were tickets of events, of trainings, tickets going from £300 go up to £2,000 for the trainings. Our lifetime membership, which is a series of event training for the entire lifetime, plus business mentoring for the entire lifetime. We get our clients on a stage once a year, and that is one of our best-selling products, which now is £15,000 and is growing to £20,000 next year. And that was definitely one of our best sellers. Our corporate consulting that Ben does was another program that we offered, in particular doing sales training for recruitment agencies, which is one of our businesses, which Ben takes care of. And also we sold online membership, and we sold one-to-one coaching, and we sold single online programs. So these are all the range of products that we have. And the reason why I decided to create every single product, because I wanted to make sure that our business was bulletproof. There might be moments or seasons where the event industry is going down, means that I can ramp up and I have the infrastructure to ramp up the online sales. There might be a moment where the one-to-one clients are going down, means that I can push more in events. There may be one moment where the online sales are going down, I can push up more than one-to-one clients. So just wanted to have all the infrastructure in place, and it took a bit longer, but I feel that the business is way more stable for the long term. Instead of just focusing on one product and one service, like a lot of people do, and then the moment that doesn't sell anymore, they're screwed. It doesn't matter, at any given time now, I have about 15 different products that I can sell, so I'm gonna make some money. It's like, doesn't matter, even if no one buys one, someone will buy the other. So that's the way we've been able to grow the business and making it sustainable in the long run. So these are, thank you for asking questions, Scott. I really appreciate it. Now it's time to wrap up because I gotta go. Remember, if you want to become a private client or you want to join one of our paid training, our intensive Explode Your Expert Business, where we help you launch, create, plan, and launch your signature high-end program in 3 days. And some people made 12K within 14 days. Some people made 30K in 14 days. Make sure you let me know. It's called Explode Your Expert Biz Intensive. Next one is going to be in February. If you want to become a private client, again, let me know. Or if you prefer having a one-to-one support, or you want to join our library of online training, then you can join that too. So we have different options for you. Let me know. Let's have a chat. You'll have a chat with my team. They will explore what kind of help you need, and we're going to give you what is more relevant for you. That's the way we work, because we don't believe that one size fits all. We believe that everyone has a different way of learning. Everyone has a different way of getting results. We want to understand you as a person, understand you as a business owner, as an expert, and give you the best thing that we can do for you to help you become an authority in your field. Thank you very much for everyone who has been watching. If you're watching live, if you've been listening to the show, maybe you've been watching the replay on YouTube, or you're watching the replay on Facebook, or listening on the podcast on iTunes or your favorite podcasting platform, don't forget to subscribe. Make sure you do it now. It goes a long way. The more subscribers and reviews we have, the more people will see this content. And so I really appreciate if you like what we do for you, what I do for you every single day. I really appreciate you to subscribe and like the page, follow us on the different social media. And if you're ready to have a conversation about becoming a client because you like the way we work, you like our philosophy, our ethos, and what we can offer, absolutely, let's have a chat, because I'm looking forward to working together. Now, this is the last episode of the year. This is the last episode of 2018. So next episode is going to be the first episode of 2019. I wish you a fantastic end of the year. Have fun, drink a lot, make love, celebrate, and let's get started with another fantastic year. From me, Simone Vincenzi is everything. Looking forward to seeing you next episode. Until then, remember that together we grow exponentially. Ciao.